This is Jonathan Angler, here for Pro Boxing fans. We're here in London at the start of The Boxer, the new show Saturday night with Chris Eubank Jr. headlining, and I bumped into Joe Weller.
How you doing, brother? You good?
How you doing?
I'm doing very well, you know, like excited that obviously these live events are coming back properly. Unfortunate that Eubank's opponent and the whole COVID thing, like putting spanners in the works, but that's going to happen. It is what it is. I think it's going to be sick. This venue here, by the way, I don't know if this is people can see it on YouTube, but like they've proper gone all out. Rather than like a hotel side room, they've gone for like an actual like quirky sort of like industrial, edgy looking place. And I hope this is like a theme going forward for Boxer and Sky, that they're just sort of like breaking away from the usuals, if you know what I mean.
All right, tell us what you're doing with Boxer. How did it come about?
So basically, they just hit me up. They were like, obviously, we've seen what you've done on Sky Sports, BT Sport with the YouTube stuff, and we'd like to look at like a long-term deal where you work on like the actual events. Obviously, mostly going to be on digital to begin with, like the YouTube stuff. But I'm putting ideas forward. Like I think like an alternative commentary would be good. So you have like the proper, you know, Adam Smith, professional sort of boxing commentators, but imagine like Joe Weller and True Geordie alternative commentary.
Have you spoken to him about that?
No, I was just chatting about it this morning. But like I haven't spoken to Geordie or anything, but like something like that would be sick. It's just obviously it's whether they got the funds for that, do you know what I mean? That's going to be the thing.
To be fair, you've got a lot of compliments. You've obviously done that stuff with Sky and the Mayweather stuff. How do you find it? Are you do you come from like have you always been a boxing fan? Or?
So mate, obviously my boxing sort of like interest came from when I actually did my fight, rather than like obviously normally people get into boxing, interested in watching boxing, and then they start fighting. My thing was like, I sort of was into the fitness element and then did my fight, and then from like losing my fight and all that, but learning about the sport, I then become like obviously such a huge fan of it. And then these opportunities of, you know, commentating on the Tyson fight, the Mayweather fight, and all this stuff, I'm just becoming more and more like I'm watching, you know, I'm watching your stuff, IFL, obviously the behind the scenes training and whatnot, and I just love it, mate. Like just more than anything, I just love it.
Because like boxing people like hardcore fans always say, you know, with YouTubers.
What's a hardcore fan? Like, what is someone that watches boxing? Like, what counts as that? You're a human being that watches the sport. Yeah. Like, okay, like when people chat shit about the YouTube stuff, it's like what those YouTube guys have done in the ring is far more probably than you ever done. That you're calling yourself a hardcore. Like Jake Paul, KSI, you know, all of them lot. They've done camps, multiple camps. They've fucking researched the sport. They've become students of it. Yeah, they haven't got like the quality that you may see at the top level, but like I don't like this thing where like, oh, hardcore say that you like we're all just people that like the sport of boxing at the end of the day.
Yeah. What I was going to say with that is they say
no. That's tangent. I was like, go on then.
What I was going to say is people wonder, do sort of say your fan. You talk about boxing. You're a YouTuber. Do your fans, you know, have you noticed more fans of yours more interested in boxing, the content you're making around boxing?
Of course, that's the thing. Like since doing this YouTube boxing element, it's like the amount of people, the amount of kids that got inspired and continue to get inspired by it is bonkers. Like on a daily basis since the whole thing sort of like kicked off with KSI and whatnot, like you see kids sending like photos, oh, I got into the gym today, you know, I was inspired by like this fight, like whether it be the KSI Logan, the Jake Paul, whatever. For sure, I think it's, you know, where these guys, like, you know, the guys that watch our videos, I guess they're into the personalities that they're watching. Whatever those personalities start going into and show passion for and whatnot, it makes the audience feel like, well, you know, I want to try that. And, you know, something like boxing, I mean, in this day and age where like people are writing stuff on Twitter and chatting shit on a level where they don't get a hit in the face for being disrespectful, it's a great way to actually show a little bit of discipline and a little bit of like, you know, respect to a generation that are getting so used to being able to chat shit and not get any consequences. So yeah, I'm glad it's inspiring people.
Joe, a couple more quickly because the press is about to stop. Anthony Joshua lost his heavyweight titles to Oleksandr Usyk Saturday night. What did you make of it?
Oh mate, it was heartbreaking, like obviously frustrating. A lot of us were like, just fucking throw something, just go for it. Obviously there are certain questions, like since since getting dropped against Andy Ruiz, has AJ become a little bit more tentative of like, I do not want to be in that situation again where I'm put on the floor and humiliated in that sense? Because you'd think against Klitschko, he was finding it tricky like boxing Klitschko, and he just took the fight to him. Dylan White, one of the most like freaking craziest fighters, he went toe to toe with him and went bang, and that's what AJ, like, that's what we all like fell in love with his style for, because he was such a he had that dog fight in him. And I know Dylan White said that, has he lost that dog a little bit? I don't know, but I mean I believe he'll come back and he'll do what he needs to do. As much as he doesn't want to fight that sort of fight, I think he's got almost no choice. But will Usyk still be too much in the rematch? Potentially, mate, potentially.
Fury Wilder 3, you were at the second fight, I remember seeing you there. What do you make of the third fight?
So I mean, you got to think like, surely Fury's got it. The only thing is whether he's complacent. I mean, surely he's not. Surely, like, it doesn't strike me like he's the sort of geezer that's going to take his eyes off the prize. He knows what he's got to do. I think the same thing is going to happen again. It's just whether Wilder can implement this new. I mean, you've seen the training videos where he's coming in and trying to whack the hooks to the body. When's he ever done that? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, combinations to the body and stuff. He's like, in such a short amount of time, you can't imagine he's going to be able to, when the going gets tough, he's going to remember, oh, let me think about that, you know, combination I learned in training a few weeks ago. It's like, I feel like he knows one way to fight, and that is in big singles, and Fury's going to be too much for him. He's going to drain him mentally and just, yeah, do the same again, I think.
Final one, Joe. A lot of people talking after the Jake Paul fight. Jake Paul, Conor McGregor. Is that a fight you want to see? What do you make of it?
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah. Oh, definitely. McGregor, I mean, I reckon he's weighed it up. I reckon he's going, you know what, it's going to get to a point where that fight does make sense for him, I think. If he goes into another proper UFC fight and gets beaten up again, it's almost like, is that sort of fight going to be like the only real big money fights that he can do? Because he's sort of, a lot of people are saying, you know, he's finished, he's lost credibility, he's not what he was. I think that fight can make sense, and imagine the press conference, imagine the build-up, it'll be fucking ridiculous, but it'll be so entertaining. So yeah, I'd love to see that one.
Did you see Tyron Woodley's tattoo?
The thing is, he's got it there. That will, through sparring, through like, you know, that area on your hand, it will come off eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually it will. So I think he's done that on purpose. But if fair play, like if it's real, we've got like verification if it's real. Cause, like, that's the only thing.
It's been you know, some people saying it is, some people saying it's not. Don't know.
So yeah, well, let's see what happens. But yeah, I mean, get that one out of the way. I'd prefer that to be done in like gone. I want to see the Tommy Fury fight against Jake Paul first. Fury bonkers for turning down this £1 million thing, by the way. Like the way he's dismissing £1 million like it's nothing. Don't know how I feel about that, but I think at this point with Fury, he's not gone against any credible fighters. People that go against McGregor in these big fights are lucky to get £1 million. Do you know what I mean? So going against Jake Paul in this fight, taking £1 million, if you're that confident you're going to win, you'll take that fight and then you'll do a rematch and earn even more, in my opinion, at this point. So there you go.
And Joe, what you got going on apart from boxing? You're DJing. Tell us a bit about you.
DJ, these people give a shit. No, yeah, basically, yeah, DJing. So just about to sign a little record deal.
Nice.
Basically,
well
yeah, going for the music thing. Obviously, you know, from doing YouTube, I think what you realise is that like actually you can do anything. Like, I know it sounds well weird, but in the media world, because on YouTube we make music, we make funny videos, we make film stuff, we'll do boxing, we'll do this, that, and the other, and it's like, you know, if you've got as long as like the passion's there and you believe you can do it, like I guess that's the ethos that I sort of like developed. And with the music thing, I'm gonna go for that properly now, and yeah, hopefully make some serious moves with it.
Cheers for your time, Joe.
No worries,
best of luck with your new gig with Boxer.
Cheers, brother. Nice one.